Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Anthony Marnell, Executive Director Bob Bennett, Commissioners Francisco Aguilar, Skip Avancino, Pat Lundvall, and Michon Martin. Our three judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Sal D'Amato, Derek Cleary, and Glenn Trowbridge. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Herb Dean. Now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, live from the Chelsea at the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas, it's time! 5 rounds in the UFC strawweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 6 wins, 1 loss. She stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 115 and 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Sacramento, California, by way of Reno, Nevada, presenting the number 7 ranked strawweight contender in the world, 12 gauge, Paige vanzant. And now introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 4 wins, 2 losses. She stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 115 and 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Denver, Colorado, presenting the number 3 UFC strawweight contender in the world, Thug Rose namajunas.
Okay, ladies, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're gonna have a clean fight. Touch gloves and come out and do this.
All right, Brian Stan, here we go. This most anticipated strawweight main event. Paige vanzant trying to move to 4-0 in the UFC against the former world title challenger, Rose namajunas. And we are underway. Namajunas in the center of the octagon wearing the black, vanzant is in the white. Scheduled for 5 rounds if need be. Nice 1-2 early from namajunas.
And hard leg kick in response by Paige vanzant. Can Paige close the distance and execute her game plan? Eats a nice right hand there from namajunas early. Namajunas definitely the more technical fighter everywhere. Paige gets it done more with just a relentless, overwhelming top game if she gets on top of you. And Rose landing easily so far. And now it's Rose looking for the takedown and puts Paige down on her back.
She has taken down all of her UFC opponents now, including Paige vanzant.
Very smart move by Rose namajunas. Test out her bottom game.
Namajunas sharp with her strikes here in the early going.
Postures up and passes easily. Now in north-south, but Paige has her feet against the fence, maybe looking to kick off here and create some space. But you can see Paige is reaching a little bit with her arms. She's got to be careful. Nice elbows here from Rose namajunas. And we talked about her focus this week. And man, Paige is eating some shots on bottom there.
Namajunas circling out of harm's way. She has already opened up a big cut on the right cheek of Paige vanzant. So a strong start for the slight underdog, Thug Rose namajunas.
Nice controlled pace by namajunas as well. Knows she's got 5 rounds to work here. Took the fight on 5 weeks' notice, which is a short time to train for that, but she was in the gym already, felt like it was no problem whatsoever, jumped at this opportunity. And you could see immediately the difference in the striking between the two. Namajunas doing a really nice job getting in and getting out. Beautiful right hand.
Right through the guard of vanzant. Just over 2 minutes into this one, all namajunas so far.
And Rose is so good at judging range. You know, when she hops in, you know, a lot of fighters, you see their punches just missed. She gets in just in range, right at the end of her punches, and she lands another nice right hand there. And Paige is bloodied up. Again, this is what Paige likes to be. Goes for real awkward head and arm takedowns, and she's succeeded with them some of her previous matchups, but not against the fighters the caliber of Rose Namajunas. And that's the danger with this head and arm throw, is you leave your back open. Rose intelligently is trying to weave her legs through so that she can't get top position, and she's going to have taken the back. Nice work there from Rose.
Yeah, a lot of people thought Vanzant might have the strength advantage. Not the case at all here in the early going. Under 2 minutes now to go in round one.
And a dominant round thus far for Rose Namajunas. And she's very good when she's on the back but sick in this rear naked choke. Paige has got to be really careful. Rose going to try and get that other hook in and start to stretch and spread Paige out. See if she can open up that opening and slide the hand underneath the chin.
Vanzant back to her feet. Covered in blood here, courtesy of that early Namajunas elbow.
And she is wearing it. But she's used to this. You know, she's had fights like this before where she loses initially. Everybody at Alpha Male will tell you the first thing they talk about is her tenacity and her toughness. But sometimes toughness will only get you more of a beating when you're in there with someone who's just technically this much superior. And the big thing I noticed about Rose was her focus. She was extremely focused for this fight. You could see it in every interview. When I spoke to her a week and a half ago, I mean, she just had it. She was very focused on what she needed to do to win this fight. Didn't care about anybody else's opinion but hers, she said. And she's out there executing well here in round one.
Namajunas looking to posture up here. Just very effective with those hands, not a lot of wasted motion. Namajunas unofficially landing 68% of her total strikes through 4+ minutes.
Yeah, Rose really showcasing and exploiting the inexperience of Paige VanZant. And while their fight records look similar in terms of total fights, Rose has been a combat martial artist for much longer. This outstanding ground and pound here. They can open up more cuts. There's some of the beautiful striking of Rose Namajunas, then the takedown, the early takedown, put her on her back, and really just dominated from that position. Just a step ahead of Paige VanZant the entire first round.
All right, we'll see if VanZant can rally here. Second round of a possible 5 in our strawweight main event.
And not a whole lot for Paige to pull any confidence from there in round one. Didn't have success anywhere. Oh, another nice combination landed by Rose.
This really is unfamiliar territory for Paige VanZant. You mentioned the combat experience of Namajunas, who has found her range once again.
And again, Paige goes that head and arm throw, which is just an extremely ineffective MMA takedown. Rose obviously well prepared for it, thwarts it, and now looking for a takedown of her own. And if she gets on top of Paige, this could spell a lot of trouble for Paige VanZant. And her corner wanted her to dig for more underhooks. Oh. And again, she went for a really awkward takedown attempt, and Rose able to float and land on top. And now looking to mount.
Namajunas with her knee on the belly, trying to work it over, and she does. VanZant forced to give up the back.
Now she's got to be careful. Rose very tricky when she starts searching for this rear naked choke. Nice job by Paige to escape her hips, but was unable to belly down and get back up to her feet. And Rose just so relaxed in there right now. You know, everything that Paige is doing, she just slowly has an answer to it, responding to everything beautifully.
Well, Namajunas 4 amateur fights, another 3 on the Ultimate Fighter. The experience of fighting for a UFC title last December, all paying dividends here in the early going. But VanZant hanging in there.
And right now, so far, Rose is showing why everybody was so excited about her coming off the Ultimate Fighter.
And
just an extremely well-rounded martial artist.
Perhaps why the betting line moved in her favor. Just over 3 minutes to go in round 2.
Really making Paige have to work to get back to her feet. And so far, none of the typical clinch takedowns we've seen from Paige VanZant have worked against Rose. Here, if these takedowns aren't working, I mean, she's being dominated in the striking. But these are typically areas where she kind of muscles women to the ground. Able to do so here. Let's see if she's able to get top position. And no. Nice work there from Rose. Again, just really, it's poor technique by Paige VanZant on some of these takedowns. They're flawed, showing her inexperience. She's gotten away with them in her previous matchups, but not here tonight.
Well, and in fairness, VanZant and namajunas as well, but could be 4, 5, 6 years away from their fighting prime.
Easy. Both of these women so young, athletic.
Namajunas, though, who has the back here, has been doing martial arts since she was 5 years old. Black belt in karate and taekwondo, jiu-jitsu tournament experience. And giving Paige VanZant all she can handle through 1 round plus.
I mean, that was the story of this fight. You know, one, you have the technically superior martial artist. The other one, extremely tough. And she's gotten by on toughness and a little bit of technique. She's ever improving. But this was a big step up in competition for Paige VanZant. To go from Alex Chambers to then Rose Namajunas is a big jump.
Crowd trying to rally behind Paige VanZant. Just over a minute to go in round 2.
And again, it's difficult for Paige VanZant. Normally we see her wanting to close distance, get in the clinch all the time. Now she's staying at range because she's losing options. Her takedown attempts are ending up in her being put on her back and punished for it. And you know what? She ended up on her back, but why not try it? Your traditional takedown attempts aren't working. She looked to maybe roll back to her back, use a butterfly guard and sweep her. Didn't work, but you know, when everything else isn't working, you got to try. I give her credit for at least trying to be innovative. And no quitting Paige VanZant, though. Despite being dominated, you can hear her corner talking to her, and she nods when she hears them and is listening to him.
Well, and that cut more superficial than anything else, in a good place, more of a nuisance than anything else.
Just a really smart tactical fight by Rose. And I like her economy of energy, too. She explodes when she needs to, but she's not overexerting herself, knowing it's a five-round fight. Beautiful counter there by Rose. Goes into the clinch, eventually works. Boom. Excellent clinch from Rose Namajunas. Gets on top.
You know, it's interesting that this is a 25-minute fight because you can't run clock if you're Rose Namajunas here in this 3rd round, and VanZant certainly not looking for a way out. We'll see how this middle round plays out. VanZant advances.
And just awkward technique to start the round off. I mean, VanZant, she wins her fights in an ugly fashion. She makes the fight ugly, gets in the clinch, makes it ugly and nasty. You know, trying to fight technique for technique with Rose is a mistake. And she's on her back again, flattened out. And this is where Rose has been able to really dominate the fight without exerting a whole lot of energy whatsoever. I mean, easily passing the mount now.
VanZant came in averaging more than 3 takedowns landed per 15 minutes. 0 for 5 in that column tonight.
Rose tried to get to mount, but now in half guard. Again, Paige so used to being on top. We haven't seen her create space, dig for an underhook, or try to get back to her feet. Now she creates some distance, going for a single leg of her own. See if she can come out the back door here and finish this takedown attempt. Nice work from Rose. It looked like Paige was going to be able to work her way on top. Oh, nice knee, though, from Paige VanZant. Best strike of the fight so far.
Yep. Namajunas continues to circle, and
this is what Paige does best. She's starting to make it a little ugly. She got tagged again. I don't know why she went for a spinning back fist, but that's what she needs to do. If she's going to have any success, get in her face, make it ugly. Don't give her the room to be technical. She's too technical for you. And this is where Rose is going to beat you up at this distance.
Namajunas doing a really nice job using Vanzant's aggression against her. Every time she presses forward, she backs her up with a 1-2. And at least in terms of the total strikes landed, Vanzant has the advantage. Under 3 minutes now to go in round 3.
I can't say enough. For 5 weeks preparation, so far, Rose looks to be perfectly prepared for this fight. Maintaining her range, playing the matador when she needs to. Look at that beautiful dip to the side, overhand right lands flush. And I like the advice that Pat Barry gave her in the corner as well. Don't force the finish. She'll give it to you. You know, sometimes when you go looking for the finish too hard, right, you know, you put yourself in a little bit of trouble.
Left hand lands for Namajunas. You know, cardio could really play a role here down the stretch. Just over 2 minutes to go in the round.
Smart move here by Paige to go for the wizard with that overhook there in her left arm. Previously, she's been looking for that head and arm throw and just landed on her back way too many times. Rose again here, probably going to end up in the dominant position.
4 takedowns on 6 attempts for Rose Namajunas.
And some of these, I mean, Paige is giving her. You know, Paige is executing poor technique, and Rose is really just capitalizing well. And again, very little energy utilized to get Paige flat on her back right now. You talked to Namajunas, you talked to her about that Carla Esparza fight, and she learned so much from it, dealing with the pressure and the hype, and you see a much smarter fighter in there right now. She really grew from that experience. Certainly not fighting like a woman with a professional record of 3-2.
Oh, nice right hand gets through for Namajunas. 1 minute to go in round 3.
Yeah, no quitting Paige though. I mean, she's still trying to get back to her feet. Oh, she may be under. This could be it. She looks to be under. Yep. She's pulling down the hand. Paige is fighting it. This is going to be tough though.
Namajunas is under the chin. Vanzant working hard defensively to stay in this fight.
She may go out. This is tight. Great heart. You can see Paige trying to relax and suck it up, but this is getting tighter and tighter.
Vanzant, no quit in her. Seconds winding down in round 3. Crowd loving that Vanzant escapes.
I'll tell you, that's her biggest attribute, and sometimes being tough, you get more of a beating, but when you have this kind of heart, and you're young and you're coachable,
wow.
No quitting her whatsoever.
And she's so conditioned that it allows her to stay in this fight. And you got to think Namajunas is wondering what's it going to take to get Vanzant out of here.
Man, just a gorgeous transition. See Rose there. We've seen her do flying submissions, everything else. She's just got a great feel for when there's an opening, when she could surprise you. And look how deep this choke is. When they fall back, I mean, that forearm is under the chin and tight. And you could see it. It was right in front of us in our broadcast booth. You could see Paige slowing down her breathing.
In her corner there. Certainly had to be happy with the submission defense there towards the tail end of that round. We have reached the championship rounds. 4 of a possible 5. Sixth takedown of the fight unofficially for Rose Namajunas.
Very smart. You know, she's been dominant in the clinch, an area that most people perceive Paige VanZant to have an advantage, where she's really looked solid, muscling women in the clinch and getting her takedowns. Rose Namajunas has dominated her. Yeah, really impressive cardio though for Paige VanZant. Barely breathing heavy despite having to work off her back much of the night.
And of
same
course,
for Rose,
yeah,
too.
absolutely.
I mean, she looks fantastic, posturing up. She's passed easily.
And there's no wasted motion. Even the way she operates in her corner, walking back there, just, she's got some chops for a 23-year-old, man.
And it's interesting. Ooh, Kimura attempt here.
That is one of her go-to submissions.
She's in great position. She can convert this to an armbar now as well. Beautiful technique. This is going to be really difficult to defend here. She's going to stretch her out. This could be it right here. She's in the elbow in the right direction. She's going to switch it off. And look at Paige fight out of it. Excellent. Wow.
What heart and determination from Paige VanZant to stay in this fight.
And great poise by Rose Namajunas as well. Nothing is going to two extremes for her. She's not emotional there. Calm, cool, and collective. Responds to everything by maintaining the dominant position. You know, rarely do you see someone go for an armbar and then still end up in the dominant position. Nicely done by Rose. And specifically, I'm most impressed with the improvement in her takedowns. If you're going to look at potentially matching her up, if she comes out on top in this fight against the champion, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, you know, she strikes well, but we haven't seen Joanna face someone who could potentially take her down several times in the fight.
VanZant still having fun in there, man, but a lot of work to do and only 7.5 minutes with which to do it.
And I mean, these are the kinds of fights that force fighters to get very frustrated, and then you start to make mistakes and really leave yourself open. Paige done a really good job at responding at this and just continues to work, continues to try and fight for the small battles. She's got to be really careful with this arm. Her left arm is vulnerable. Rose going to fall back again. This is tight. This could be it.
VanZant trying to squirm out.
Oh, she's going to try to overhook it. Oh, look at that elbow.
How about Paige VanZant escaping again?
And now she's on top for the first time. Rose is going to convert this to an omoplata, probably try to use this to sweep or end up on top.
3 very legitimate submission attempts for Rose Namajunas. VanZant has gotten out of all of them.
No questioning the heart and the toughness of this young woman, which if you look back at her fights, from her debut in the UFC to her last win over Alex Chambers, I mean, that's the biggest attribute that stands out, is this girl is tough. People want to argue that fact because of the attention she gets, but it's undeniable.
Namajunas not under the chin here.
Boy, and again, look how she just flows, position to position. Just no escape for Paige VanZant. And again, the crowd not affecting Rose. You know, just we talked about this week, her focus, calm, cool, collective. Nothing's affecting her in there right now.
And it could be discouraging for a lot of fighters when you have seemingly broken a fighter and done everything in your power to finish them and you can't take them out, but Namajunas staying poised as ever.
Yeah, she is really living up to all the hype and the expectations and the potential that people saw. And again, I mean, both of these girls are still so young in the game. But Rose, to be where she's at technically in all areas already with 5 pro fights.
Got to think at some point their paths will cross again. But for the moment, high stakes here at 115 pounds as we wind down round number 4.
Smart move by Paige, digging for underhooks now. She's just got to get in Rose's face and try and make something happen. Oh, gorgeous technique from Rose. Again, dominant in the clinch.
7th takedown of the fight for Rose Namajunas, caps round 4.
Take a look at the armbar attempts from Rose Namajunas. Switches the left foot over, blocks her with the right knee. Excellent technique. Breaks the grip, extends here. And then you can see rotation of the wrist, really smart by Paige VanZant. Here's the second attempt here. This one looked like it was going to be over. Even worse position. She's got control of the wrist, and it looked like the elbow popped here and then popped back in, but who knows? Maybe Paige has got really flexible elbows.
As the strawweight champion Joanna Jędrzejczyk looks on at these two contenders. Fifth and final round, Rose Namajunas and Paige VanZant. More than worthy of this main event showcase tonight. Namajunas able to stick with the left hand and move once again.
And nice work from Rose. Worked from the single leg up to a body lock and another takedown. Just as Paige seemed to be getting a little bit of momentum with her forward pressure. Again, really improved fight IQ from Rose Namajunas tonight. And again, you just see Rose a step ahead on the ground.
Trying to stay heavy here as best she can.
No lacking in willpower, and Paige is going to put herself vulnerable to an armbar again here. Now she's hiding it. And you hear the corner of Paige VanZant telling her they want her to hand fight, control her wrist. It'll help her win back her position, maybe get back to her feet. But excellent top pressure from Rose Namajunas right now, keeping the shoulder flat, not giving her any room to work.
8 takedowns landed for Rose Namajunas on 10 attempts.
Now, you know, we talked about the grappling, the submissions, we talked about the really technical striking. Now we're seeing the improvements in the wrestling game of Rose Namajunas. Just outstanding in an area that people thought Paige would succeed and have an advantage inside the clinch. Rose has been near flawless.
Nice hips there by Namajunas.
And here's where Paige has got to fight for her. She wants to end up on top, but again, just beautiful technique from Rose as she floats and remains on top. And there's no quit in Paige, though. Constantly moving, constantly turning her hips on there, just trying to escape any way she can. You know, regardless of this outcome, you know, I think Paige gained a lot of respect from people.
Well,
another rear naked choke. This is under. This is tight.
And this one might do it.
There it is.
So Rose Namajunas finishes the job in a main event for the ages. What a fight between these two strawweight contenders tonight. Absolutely outstanding, and what a showcase for this budding division.
Focused, and she was stone cold inside that octagon. Just a gorgeous performance by Rose Namajunas. Let's take a look at the finish. She was taking her back all night, looking for rear naked chokes, failed on so many submission attempts, but just stayed calm and poised, and this time adjust the grip. Didn't figure for it for the rear naked. Kept the grip behind her shoulder. Paige couldn't pull down the wrist. Outstanding technique. And just an excellent, near flawless performance by Rose Namajunas.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 25 seconds of round number 5. Declaring the winner by submission due to a rear naked choke, Thug Rose Namajunas.